Welcome to PowerNation Builds. I'm Allie Walker. Anyone who knows me knows I like big trucks, so the Muscle Truck build-off is right up my alley. Let's check it out.
When it comes to trucks, there's no doubt that the pickup is the workhorse of America, but that don't mean we can't have a little fun with it too.
Every now and again, the factories will release a special high-performance edition of a regular truck. And some time ago, we did a shootout between two of them, the Chevy 454 SS and a first-gen Ford Lightning. And they were each built in two totally different styles.
I mean, one's a small block, one's a big block. You got naturally aspirated and one with the turbo. I'd say they're pretty different.
So we decided it was time for a little shootout of our own. We were each given the same exact amount of money and told to go out and purchase whatever kind of truck we could dream up.
Not to mention the same budget for the build. And user's choice on where you want to spend that money. You could throw it at performance, handling, even styling and appearance. Totally up to you, buddy.
And when we're done, we're going to compete in a series of tests to determine which truck is superior. The pickups are waiting, and we can't wait to show you guys what we have picked out.
Let's kick it off.
When it comes to Muscle Trucks, well, there are only a few choices. You've got the early 90s Cyclones and Typhoons, first-gen Ford Lightnings and the 454 SSs. And then you had the second-gen Lightnings and the Silverado SS. But all of those pale in comparison to what I chose. That's right, I found a Viper truck. And today, this still holds the record for the world's fastest production truck. And it gets there with a massive V10 underneath the hood, an automatic transmission, 456 gears out back, and a posi track. Now, all that's pretty awesome, and I don't know what Austin's gonna choose, but I can guarantee you this one thing. It's not gonna be anywhere near as cool as this.
You're a fool, dude.
How's that?
Red truck, so predictable.
It's a Muscle Truck shootout. I figured, why not go big or go home and pick the fastest truck they ever made?
I thought it was about us getting trucks and building a muscle truck.
Yeah.
It's like the big guy at the gym. No, the small guy goes to the gym to get big.
Well, speaking of small guy, I see you picked about the smallest one you could, an F-150, and I'm guessing, yep, you've got the little cute flower on the door, so that means you've got the V6 underneath the hood.
I bet you ain't rocking turbos. Plus, what are you trying to prove anyway?
I don't need turbos when I have 8.3 liters and 10 cylinders.
Ridiculous.
Well, I hope you have some serious upgrades planned for this thing, but we'll get to those later on. How about we start by just seeing how these trucks do bone stock?
Let's roll, buddy.
Well, keep up if you can.
Yeah, funny guy.
So the truck that I picked for the Muscle Truck shootout is about as good as you could buy. A 2005 Dodge Ram SRT-10. Now, underneath the hood is an 8.3-liter V10, the very same one that was found underneath the hood of the Dodge Viper, which was one of America's greatest sports cars.
Yeah, partner, I'm very aware this is the Muscle Truck build-off / quasi shootout. But I'm not one to be told what to do. I don't really like listening to rules and staying inside the lines, and that's why I chose the 2015 Ford F150 Super Crew Platinum. 4-wheel drive, I might add. Yeah, I'm crazy. I did pick the V6 3.5-liter EcoBoost. It's not about what you start with, it's about where you go and the journey it takes to get there. That's where the fun's at.
The V10 is backed up by the 48RE, which is a 4-speed automatic that's normally only reserved behind the Cummins turbo diesel. So you know this is a strong transmission. And in the back, we've got a Dana 60 axle, one of the strongest ones that Chrysler makes. And it has a 456 ring and pinion gear in it. So you want to talk about peppy? This truck fits the bill.
This truck is comfortable, not gonna lie. Nice leather seats, it's got the platinum trim, the wood grain, heated seats, probably massage you, dual split AC. I mean, all the benefits and features you could ask for in a late model vehicle such as this. It's just nice.
I can guarantee you that we have some pretty big plans for these trucks. As far as I'm concerned, the Ram, well, it's getting more of everything. More horsepower, less suspension, it's getting lower, more sound, you know, just about everything that you'd want in a muscle truck. Yeah, we'll tweak the looks a little bit, but for me, that's not important. What's important is what happens when you put your right foot down to the floor.
As far as kind of improving it, well, more power, obviously. Hello, that's a given. With that comes more torque, hopefully, because we're gonna need it. The stats, put some nice tires and wheels on it. It's a no-brainer. Just have fun with it. If you can't have fun, what can you have?
Coming up, we'll see who handles their suspension upgrades better as the Muscle Truck build-off continues. Welcome back to PowerNation Builds. These trucks might be going low, but they won't be going slow.
We could tell early on with our testing out at the track that neither one of these trucks is going to handle all that good in its stock condition. So we're going to start out by bringing the center of gravity a little bit closer to the ground. We're going to lower these trucks.
And to make that happen, Summit Racing sent us over each lowering kit. For the F-150, the front is going to get dropped 3 inches with this strut and coilover assembly. And the rear, that'll get taken care of with an axle flip kit. Not to mention, we're going to add a heavy-duty sway bar, because these trucks didn't even come with that from the factory. That'll just eliminate all my body roll.
I think my favorite part is the pre-assembled strut because even an amateur can install it. Smart thinking.
I'll be done before you even start.
Now, to get the Ram closer to the ground, it's going to be lowered 2 inches in the front and 4.5 inches in the rear. Shorter coil spring and a flip kit and longer shackle combination. We'll show you more on that later. But we're also going to freshen up the ride with a new set of shocks and to keep that rear axle under control, a set of CalTrac traction bars.
And since you're already on the lift, I'll take the working man's truck and the working man, and we'll go handle mine on a set of jack stands.
Oh, you're so gracious.
Seems appropriate.
What a nice guy. So what's the story, man? You gave me this high and mighty speech about having to use a floor jack, and you've got a portable lift?
Yeah, well, I mean, I went and looked for the floor jack in all fairness, and I saw that, and I'm like, try it out. Looks easy.
Man, you got such a hard life. I don't know how
I still
you
got
cope.
like, I don't know, 6 jack stands under there or something. All right, so the first thing you're gonna notice with this old F-150 is that this rear spring hanger is actually coming from the bottom. So that shackle's sitting right on top. Unlike the Viper truck where a hanger's up top and the shackle's hanging, kind of floating down with the spring. So the main difference with this kit is that they give you a shorter shackle to allow for the proper travel. But up front, they give you a drop spring hanger. This will mount in the original hanger location. Your spring will mount right up here, drop it down, give you the travel you need. Freedom. And the last little part of teardown, all we gotta do is swap these center pins. That axle's gonna sit on top, lock it in place. Don't even have to take the whole leaf pack apart. Clamp it down and just swap them one at a time.
In order to get the CalTracs installed on the Viper truck, I've got to remove this pressed-in rubber bushing from the front of the spring pack, and it's going to get replaced with a solid aluminum sleeve. Now, these rubber bushings are held very firmly in place, and my go-to tool has always been the shop press. But you guys give me a hard time, and I get it. Not everybody has something like this in their home shop. So I'm going to show you a way to do the job with something that's a little more attainable. This is the new Matco Tools long barrel air hammer, and this thing lays down 2,300 impacts per minute. And that means it'll move a ton of metal in a hurry. Its power is delivered with a 3 3/4 inch stroke, and the forward grip design allows you to easily control the chisel on the workpiece. And as a plus, the rubber dampener reduces hand fatigue. The chuck design allows for quick and easy bit swaps, and in no time at all, the bushing walks right out. So the one thing you do not want to do is drive this aluminum sleeve back in with an air hammer or even a regular hammer, because it will mess it up. Slow and steady wins the race here. A little bit of anti-seize on the bushing will help it slide right in and prevent any galling. Man, get that thing out of here. I don't need a bed step.
I'm just messing with you, man. I wouldn't do that to you. They're hideous and they're heavy. But it looks like you're almost done, actually.
Yeah, got the driver's side wrapped up and almost done with the passenger. How about you?
Sweet. I'm in assembly mode too. Slap some springs on, moving to the front, baby.
All right, well, get back to it and take your step with you.
I
Get
guess.
out of my way.
Sell it on eBay or something.
More Muscle Truck build-off up next on PowerNation Builds. Welcome back to PowerNation Builds. Are you Team Viper or Team EcoBoost? Either way, a lot of upgrades are on deck.
When your engine is operating near its red line, the valves are going to be opening and closing thousands of times a minute. And there's a lot of mass that's moving around, and the valve spring is the only thing that's responsible for pushing the valve, the rocker arm, the push rod, and the lifter back down onto the base circle of the camshaft so it can all be opened back up again the next time the engine turns around. Now, when you install a performance camshaft like we've done here, oftentimes the stock valve springs won't be able to keep up with the increased lift and duration that the aftermarket camshaft has. We're going to be installing some Comp 918 Beehive springs that we picked up from Summit Racing, and they are a direct replacement from the stock valve spring. They'll work with the existing keepers and the retainers.
So it's out with the old and in with the new. Summit Racing sent us over a set of Ford Performance turbos, which are going to spice things up. Now, physically and dimensionally on the outside, they're exactly the same, but it's the inside that counts. These upgraded turbos have a 39mm inducer wheel compared to the old stock 37. Now, I know it's a measly 2mm, but these little dudes will still support up to 300 horse apiece, and you can't really go wrong if you ask me. Now, I've already oiled up. Time to squeeze them on in. This turbo setup is quite unique in the fact that it uses oil cooling during operation, and after engine shutdown, it uses thermal passive siphoning, which pulls that coolant in and cools it down nice and slow. This direct fit factory replacement intercooler will increase cooling capacity since we're forcing all that air from these upgraded turbos.
This system is made from stainless steel, so we know it'll last a lifetime, and it's specific to the SRT-10 Rams as opposed to a regular Ram 1500 because it has the dual exits on the passenger side where there's a nice cutout in the bumper. Now, the muffler is polished, so it looks great, and it's a straight-through design, so it's going to sound even better. And our installation starts up front with the cats. The system easily installs by sliding one pipe into another, and the connections are secured with a band clamp. Finally, the chrome tip fits perfectly in the cutout in the bumper.
That little bitty V10 sporting some 3-inch exhaust. Might as well put it on the EcoBoost. What better way to finish off these turbos than with some stainless 3-inch high-flow cat down pipes and stainless exhaust all the way to the back. Finishing it up with some clean black tips.
I went to EBC Brakes and picked up a Stage 9 kit, which comes with some USR slotted rotors, which will help the braking surface run a little bit cooler. And I picked their most aggressive pad, the yellow stuff. Now together, this will give the truck a 30% improvement in stopping power, and it's a direct bolt-in replacement. With this style of caliper, the pads can come out first, and then the caliper unbolts from the spindle, which allows the old disc to be swapped with a USR slotted rotor. And with the caliper back on, the yellow stuff pads slide into their new home.
Well, here we are, all assembled. JLT Performance helped us finish up this engine bay. We installed this catch can and it'll eliminate all the oil vapors coming from the crankcase before it goes back in that intake tube. Then we wrapped it up nicely with this cold air intake. It fits seamlessly and it's gonna feed these turbos all the air they're gonna need to make that power. I'm about wrapped up, man. Where are you at?
Pretty much in the same boat. I've got the cam in, the header's on, the exhaust is done, and I upgraded the brakes. So the truck's just about ready to fire up.
All right, so how much money you spent so far?
All right, well, I got some notes here. So last time I spent $2,494 on the chassis. Today I spent $5,199 on the engine, $1,158 on the brakes. So that means out of our original 15 grand budget, I've got $6,149 left. How about you?
Okay, so last time on suspension alone, I spent $1,890. Today, just on performance parts, in total, $7,315. That leaves me with right at 5,800 left, so we'll be going places.
Well, you're definitely gonna need it to take on the SRT, but we can't finish the day without at least hearing one of these trucks, so let's fire this thing up.
Crank this dude up.
It's SRT versus F-150 in head-to-head competition. Up next. Welcome back. It's time to crown the winner of the Muscle Truck Build-Off.
Hey, will that little 6-cylinder even do a burnout?
I don't know.
Before we have Tommy and Mark add up the scores, a little head-to-head for bragging rights is a good way to go out.
How's that for a burnout?
I don't know, it sounded like there was a little 6-cylinder Honda running next to me or something.
Hey, so no joke, these trucks are close.
I know, I've been impressed, honestly. Like, for real talk, I've been impressed with that truck. Still not as fast as the SRT, even though it's 10 years older, but it's still okay.
Whoever's standing back here is gonna have a hard time telling the difference from my taillights and your pretty red truck.
All right, well, see if you can keep up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, let's roll, baby.
Oh, feels good.
Come on, come on.
I think we got it.
Give me the juice, give me the juice.
I think we got it.
Yeah, you may have got me head to head, but overall, I know I beat you in a few categories.
And we left it up to Tommy and Mark to score both trucks how they saw fit.
Well, I guess it's about time for us to tally up all of our totals to see which one of these boys is gonna take the cake.
That's right, and what's great about this for us is it's all subjective, so we get to decide the winner, even this first category, which is dyno performance. It wasn't much of a contest here. With all the engine mods added to the Ram, it only gained a measly 39 horsepower.
Austin's truck, on the other hand, gained 65 horses for an 18.5% gain, compared to LT's 8.9.
We scored it 14.5 points to 10 in favor of the Ford. Well, the next category is styling and appearance.
And I'd have to say, in my opinion, one of them did a really good job.
He swung for the fence and knocked it out of the park.
Still going. The Dodge had basically no exterior upgrades, but we still gave LT 5 points each because he bought a truck that was already styling from the factory.
Agreed, and no question, Austin hit a home run. Stance, body mods, wheels, tires, everything. Because it's such a good-looking ride, we gave him an 18 out of a possible 20 points.
LT clearly won the drag competition 20-0.
Doesn't matter the trucks were only 2/10 apart. When it comes down to a drag race, it's all about the power and getting it to the ground. LT's truck was just quicker and faster. And finally, money well spent.
Like the styling category, this wasn't even a fair comparison, and we scored it 18-2 for the EcoBoost.
The fact that Austin spent nearly all of his budget to come up with a badass truck that looks great and performs well says a lot.
And what was LT thinking, leaving nearly a third of his budget on the table? I'd spend that on a few more things to up the styling and performance. Well, after tallying everything all up, I have to say it got pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, the Ford scored 50.5. I don't know who gave him a half point.
What do you mean?
And the Dodge ended up with 52. It's pretty close.
Well, I was trying to keep it accurate. That's why I was in that half a point.
So what do you think, guys? We got any results yet?
Oh, we've got some results, and after tallying them up, they're dangerously close, guys.
Well, we still have burnouts to do, right?
Yeah, but we've got a little problem with that, because it's obvious that big red Mopar is going to shred the tires, and the Ford, it's going to try.
We've got a better plan. Let's call it the Gauntlet.
I'm in. I don't know what it is, but I'm in.
When I say gauntlet, I mean it's the classic battle between two pickup trucks. It's the ultimate measuring stick, the tug-of-war. Now, the rules are simple. These trucks are hooked up. The first one that the bumper crosses the yellow line is the loser, not only of this portion of the competition, but the whole shebang. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, boys, y'all ready to go? 3,
2, 1, go!
Oh, no way, no
shut it down. I mean, I can't believe that happened.
No,
I
sir.
thought for sure that the F-150 was gonna win.
Yeah, me too, just because I figured that one was gonna blow the tires off of it and it was basically gonna walk a dog.
This guy, I didn't know this was a braking contest. I thought we eliminated the braking contest.
If you'll notice, there was no braking. We moved that way. What about
There was-
four-wheel drive? Didn't you even use it?
I didn't start out in it because I wanted to give you a fighting chance.
Well, you did, and I won. The winner of that contest took the whole thing, so...
You
took
won.
the whole thing.
It's over.
It's over.
All right.
We're done.
That wins?
Tell you what,
But I will say, both trucks are awesome.
Yes,
in their
sir.
own way.
Yes, sir.
I will say we're starting out pulling in four-wheel drive right now.
rematch, he says.
I'm going
Well,
home.
I'm staying here to watch this. Come on, fellas.
Come on, baby.
This really proves nothing other than it makes a lot of smoke.
Coolest tug-of-war ever. For more on all of our projects, visit PowerNationTV.com. I'm Allie Walker, and I'll see you down the road.